For this first week, what you're going to want to do is go through chapter 1 in Jerry Bridges' book, Who Am I? Now, I'm going to give you a heads up here. This chapter is absolutely packed full of information. As you're reading it, you're going to be like, oh, I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to get that. Let me tell you, okay, because remember, this is not just about getting that information into our heads, but what you want to do is you want to take a colored pencil, a crayon, a marker, something like that. And as you read, I recommend follow Jesus, obviously, but I would recommend what really helped me was going through and underlining the different things that stood out to me. Sometimes I would take a little time. Okay, for me, I like to when he talks about the eyes of all look to you. I drew my eyes. I circled my all, but I underlined. I even drew a hand. That you open your hand to satisfy the desires. Because what you want to do is you kind of want to slow down. There are not a lot of pages in this chapter. We're just talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages, and they're pretty short. And so this is not a very long chapter that you have to work through, but I am telling you it's packed. So one of the things I encourage you to read and just underline as you go through and as you read it. And because what we're going to do is we're going to process it creatively afterwards. But you don't want to get too bogged down with, oh, I got to remember this. Oh, I got to remember that as you're going through. Just underline. I like to draw boxes around words that stand out to me. I like to circle the key things that are actually highlighted in here. Even as I went through, every time it mentioned the word gift, that there was actually something was a gift, I drew it at the bottom and wrote down what that was. Okay, whatever this looks like for you, but you're not just reading it, because if you read it, it's almost like it goes in one ear, out the other, or in one eyeball and out the other. You want to just slow down, take it a little easy, underline the things that stand out to you. But before you even do that, here's what I recommend. Start with prayer. Ask the Lord if he will speak to your heart as you're going through this, to highlight for you what you need to hear, what he wants you to focus on. And many times that actually may tie into other things that he's been laying on your heart as you've been reading the word, as you've been doing things. For me, well, one of the reasons why this time through I drew gifts at the bottom was God's really been laying on my heart just about gratitude and how taking time to be thankful, giving thanks for what God has given us can really help us enter into his rest. I was just camping out in Psalm 116, 1 through 7 earlier today. And that was one of the things that stood out to me there. So of course, as I was thinking about verses, when we focus on the things we don't have, that can rob us of rest. And so that's what I was meditating on earlier today. So as I'm going through this, it's connecting with other things God's been saying to me, which is why I focused more on the gifts. There may be something totally different Jesus wants to highlight for you. Listen to him. So ask him, open my ears so I can hear what you want me to hear. Open my eyes so I can see wonderful things in your word. There is a lot of scriptures that Jerry gives in here. And I'm telling you, if you have time to camp out, to actually look up those verses, read them in context, okay, you'll get more. The more time you put into something, the more time you get out. But otherwise, the goal really is just to read through these 9 pages. But these are extra layers that you can add on as you're doing this. And no, we're going to have fun in the next video.